dah nampak aku punya mic sekarang ada sekarang ni.
Boleh, I hear you, bro.
Okay, I'm just gonna set like this okay? Kita cakap dua
But
orang.
you're on YouTube, bro. Okay,
I know. Kau boleh dengar aku
I can hear you. It's on. Let's go.
Okay.
Tutup lah.
Sorry. Assalamualaikum guys. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong. Maafkan saya dah macam try mana boleh nak on audio pun sorry lah, saya noob sikit dalam YouTube ni. Diki, kau boleh dengar aku on ni sekejap. Bagi aku tengok sikit, aku boleh dengar.
Boleh. Test it out. It's the
boleh.
first time kita buat live ni.
Ya, betul. Boleh Diki. Alexa, turn the lights to red. Okay, Diki. I'm just gonna set like this, Diki.
Okay.
I'm not gonna share the screen, but at least kita bercakap macam ni je lah, because the other, since ada malfunction sikit, kita akan bercakap seperti beginilah ya.
Okay, so no video lah.
No share screen lah, because the other screen macam aku tak siap lagi template, and since I don't want to waste anyone's time. You can check lah dekat your own fixtures. Kita nak cerita apa, since kita start lambat ni. Aduh, maaf lah, sorry lah semua orang, siapa-siapa yang tengok ni apa ada malfunction sikit. Of course lah, ini first time kita nak start kan, so
Kesilahan teknikal, tak ada masalah.
Teknikal ni memang masalah sikit. Tu masalah dia. Selalunya memang masalah teknikal. Tengok aku sekarang ni semua aku ada buat capture tiba-tiba. Pelik tu. Okay, Diki.
Yo.
Let's talk about Game Week 8. Game Week ke-8. Game Week ke-8 ni nampaknya ada perlawanan-perlawanan yang agak boleh dikatakan ada satu big derby lah. Tapi mari kita recap sikit apa game-game yang lain. The first game kita ada Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea pukul 7.30.
First game. Betul. 7.30 hari Sabtu.
7.30. Dan lepas tu kita ada Brighton Newcastle, and then Burnley lawan Leeds. Crystal Palace dan Bournemouth, itu akan menjadi game yang menarik. Dan at the same time banyak juga game yang pukul 10 ni.
Sabtu best. Pasal yang bestnya lepas international break, Sabtu tak payah tunggu lama-lama. Sabtu dah banyak gila game dah.
Itu ada. Itu ada City versus Everton. Dan that's gonna be a good game, I guess. But dengan Erling Haaland ni tengah on fire, Molotovs. Itulah. And then Sunderland versus Wolves. Memang betul lah, dia memang bagi kita terus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game. Lain macam. Dan lagi satu game midnight pukul 12.30, Fulham lawan Arsenal. That's gonna be a good one. London Derby. Macam. Then that's on Saturday. On Sunday kita ada Spurs versus Aston Villa pukul 9. Dan the big game pukul 11.30, Liverpool versus Manchester United di Anfield. Itu kita for sure kita akan cerita lebih lanjut lagi dengan game ni. Dan Tuesday adalah game yang tak ada orang akan tengok lah, West Ham dan Brentford.
Okay lah, London Derby kan. Lagilah orang West Ham nak kasi Chan menang. New manager apa? Kasihlah Chan.
Saja je. Apa? Okay, Ricky, mari kita bincangkan dalam Game Week 8. What is your picks for the matches yang you rasa kita boleh score?
Okay, untuk FPL lah, demi FPL. Tapi sambil-sambil tu kita boleh cerita-cerita bola lah kan.
Boleh. Since ada malfunction ni, kita boleh teruskan.
Tak ada masalah. Okay, so first and foremost, for me, if you want to choose a team that is expected to win, yang kebarangkalian untuk menang tinggi, kita cerita City lah. Of course, kan? Bukan apa, bukan nak kata Everton ni tak bagus. Everton kalau at home macam last week, they proved they okay. They were the first team yang pertama mengalahkan Crystal Palace in the league this season. Tapi itu di gelanggang sendiri. Di gelanggang lawan, diorang ni taring kurang sikit lah. As you can see, in the previous weeks, away so far, I think their last away match was against Liverpool in the Merseyside Derby, of course. Diorang kalah 2-1. Dan sebelum tu, diorang main away, diorang kalah, diorang menang tipis kepada Wolves, kan? So, tapi City pula, meanwhile, the last 2 game weeks, diorang agak mengganas juga lah, kan? Bukan diorang mengganas, sebenarnya Haaland mengganas. Dan Haaland pun continue form dia. Hari tu lawan Moldova, dia skor berapa? 5 biji.
Siapa ni? Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland. So
lagi satu dia skor dengan ni. Tim yang lagi satu.
Di mana jap? Tengah fikir. Tapi okey lah. Yang dia main Moldova first game dia. Itu 9-0 kot dia menang. 11-0 sorry. 11-0. Dia skor 5 biji. Semalam dia lawan mana? Ingat tak Adik?
Semalam
ke 2 hari lepas?
2 hari lepas lah dia lawan Israel.
Oh ya, itu pun dia skor juga kan?
Ya, dia lawan 2.
Berapa banyak dia skor?
2.
So okey, betul-betul, sorry, itu lupa. Kita tim-tim yang tak penting ni itu pasal tak tahu kan.
Dia bukan skor 2, dia skor 3.
3. Mantap.
Dia
so that means
biji.
Bagus, good for him. That means dia skor 8 biji dalam international break ni.
Betul.
Gempak. So nak katakan dia pun sebelum tu skor dengan Burnley dia skor, last week on Brentford dia skor. So City expected to win lah. And kalau ini salah satu top picks for captain lah this week. I rasa kebanyakan FPL players akan fikir one of the highest chances to get a lot of points is Erling Haaland as captain of Everton lah.
Correct,
especially kat home kan.
Correct bro. I have a feeling memang Erling Haaland ni berbahaya lah. Dia akan score crazy points.
Betul. Itu so that's the first choice for people lah. The second choice I would say, okay, kita park Liverpool ke tepi dulu kan. I think ada dua golongan. Ada siapa yang golongan Chelsea. I think they are looking obviously after scoring the last minute winner lawan Liverpool dekat Stamford Bridge tu, they are in top form lah in a way kan. Betul. Winning games and lawan team yang is time running out for Ange Postecoglou. Because obviously dia setakat ni sejak dia masuk asyik kalah je. And now you know lah, it's a results driven sport. Berapa lama he's given time tak tahu, pasal memang berbeza sangat lah cara dia main. Kita pun tahu dia main high line as compared to the low block that Nuno Espirito Santo used to play. So player pun tengah terkejut sekarang ni. So Chelsea first game kita dapat ni, so siapa yang berminat Chelsea tu, I think midfield Chelsea so far banyak points. Antara Caicedo yang tiba-tiba score a few games. In fact, Caicedo merupakan salah satu player yang start the season very well lah this season kan. And partner dia pun Enzo pun gempak. I think they have been carrying Cole Palmer. Pasal Cole Palmer injured. So these two have been carrying the midfield punya work. So I think pilihan-pilihan Chelsea ada Caicedo, ada Enzo dan juga João Pedro. Tapi João Pedro 2-3 game ni dia tak menyengat sangat. Tapi still lawan Nottingham Forest ni we expect to see some goals lah Tip.
I mean going back to ni point kau cakap tadi pasal Caicedo ni dah menggila bro. Dia I think 3 goals already and 3 goals je ni 3 gol yang letup bro, especially dengan game lawan Liverpool sebelum ni yang masukkan kita dalam gua.
Tapi gua kita terbuka. Dia bukan gua tertutup. Kita punya gua dia terbuka. Pasal gua pun nombor 2 kan. So gua kita terbuka. Kita jemput orang masuk gua. Open house kat gua kita.
Tapi selalu kita ada teman lagi. Tapi kali ni kita tak ada teman. Lama sejuk.
So some people might choose Chelsea, and obviously golongan-golongan yang menyokong the Gunners pun saya rasa harapan dia orang menggunung lah kan. This is their chance. So diorang ada few options. Obviously the main choice being Bukayo Saka lah. pasal dia ambil a lot of set piece dan sebagainya. Dan pasal Odegaard pun injured. Nampak macam Odegaard will be injured for beberapa minggu. So set piece memang most likely than not nak dekat semuanya Saka ambil lah. So lawan Fulham, tak kata Fulham senang by the way, pasal Fulham dekat Craven Cottage ni kuat juga. But kalau Arsenal nak menang title, inilah peluang dia orang. So kalau tak orang pilih Erling Haaland dengan City, some people might choose some Chelsea players, some people might choose Arsenal players lah. I think 3. Kita belum cakap pasal Liverpool lagi pasal obviously kepada orang yang dalam gua yang masih semangat ni, inilah chance untuk Liverpool players menyengat juga balik kan. Dah lama takkan asyik kena sengat je. Kita pun kena sengat balik kan. So those are the three choices lah, I would say, untuk FPL players.
So what about ni bro? Pasal I think last week kita bukan last week, sorry, 2 minggu lepas game week 7 kita pilih this guy Antoine Semenyo.
Mantap. Dia tetap masih mantap.
Tapi and then but this week kita lawan Palace Palace lawan Bournemouth, so a bit
kita
tough
dua-dua
lah.
Kita dua-dua pilih Semenyo sebagai captain. Memang gempak. One of the highest scoring players in game week 7. Tapi lawan Palace ni tak senang, because Palace main at home. Palace defensively solid, kita pun tahu. Of course yang kalah lawan Everton dekat Hills Dickinson Stadium dekat in Liverpool. Tapi at home Selhurst Park dia orang gempak, defensively dia orang solid. Tapi Bournemouth ni not bad. Manalah tahu. For me, Semenyo tetap mesti ada dalam team. I think there's a strong chance he'll get some points. Nak jadi captain tu is a big risk sikit lah, because knowing Palace punya defensive record mantap kan.
Betul. Okay, so kau rasa this week memang aku tahulah kau memang jenis yang sneaky ni. Kau memang confirm tak tahu nak Semenyo captain kan?
I tengah fikir, terus terang nak share ni sekarang ni. Obviously ada Haaland sekarang. So Haaland 1.
Itulah
tapi
dia.
I rasa honestly Atib, kita move to the big game Atib terus lah.
Okay, boleh.
Pasal inilah masanya Salah nak sengat balik. Because Salah so far, at least the international break, he's led Egypt to the World Cup. Again, congratulations to Mo Salah.
He also scored 2 gol masa
Exactly.
masa qualifying tu. Tapi I think this new game apparently dengar cerita dia akan rested lah bro.
Tapi the thing about lawan United ni, this is the thing I think kan. Siapa akan start at the front for Liverpool? So kita fikir sekarang ni. So kita tahu Isak, the good news about Isak is he captain Sweden qualifying, so he gets minutes. That's the good news. The bad news is he didn't play so well. Sweden kena kalah 2 game. Unfortunately. At home lah tu. Dia captain tu at home. So dia out of the World Cup. Kalau tengok the highlights, I didn't see the game, but I saw the highlights. Not many chances lah for Isak. So tapi at least fitness they're on. The good thing is hari tu Ekitike got his first start. So Ekitike at least is given the responsibility for France kan.
Correct.
Dia tak score, dia ada assist. So will Slot keep faith with who will Slot start with up front? Itu big question mark dia. Most likely I hope in this game lawan United kita kasih Ekitike, because dia so far amongst all our signings, dia ni yang paling kita nampak adapt paling cun kan. So Ekitike up front 1. Salah memang tetap belah kanan. Kiri tu most likely kita tahulah Gakpo lah kan.
Ya ke? Tak, ini jom, okay lah kita tanya sikit pasal kau punya left wing ni. Memang okay. Untuk aku tak surprise lah kalau Gakpo akan start.
Tak surprise
tapi
lah. Not
bro,
surprising.
Not surprising. Tapi bro, aku ada cadangan sikit. Maybe since Florian Wirtz tengah menyelah hari tu lawan masa dia masuk lawan Chelsea tu hari tu, he did very well kan. And then I mean some people might not think dia did well, but to me aku nampak he did flourish a bit lah bro. Kau tengok lah pass dia yang first touch dia tu hari tu dengan Salah, yang Salah miss dengan Chelsea tu. I mean that was only him yang dia boleh buat, betul tak? And so ni pendapat aku lah Diki. So kau rasa kalau kita start Wirtz on the left wing tu, kau rasa okay ke tak?
So that is one of the options kan.
Betul.
Pasal masa lawan Luxembourg untuk Germany on Saturday tu dia main left wing. Memang cun lah.
Correct.
Tapi memang ramai orang main cun lawan Luxembourg kot. Semua main cun kot kan. So
macam Malaysia lawan Laos lah.
So for me, I think in this game, Gakpo pun hari tu dia score for Netherlands. So Gakpo is on fire. Gakpo knows how to play against United. I would still put Gakpo in. Kalau I sekarang ni, my choice would be Salah kanan, kiri Gakpo, atas Ekitike. Yang supporting tu, because there's a big question mark on Gravenberch. Ni kita punya Gravenberch ni injured tau. So this is the big question. Will Gravenberch start? Kalau Gravenberch tak start, then mungkin ada chance kita letak itu persoalan dia. Siapa akan, mungkin then dia letak Dominic Szoboszlai campur Alexis McAllister.
Bro, McAllister perform by the way Argentina.
Solid. So mungkin dua orang sitting kan. So at least Dom dengan McAllister sitting, boleh letak Words kat situ yang boleh jadi roaming.
Okay, so just to confirm like about Gravenberch ni, apa cerita dia?
Hamstring masalahnya. So tak tahu.
He
says it's just he says it's a fitness issue. Kita tak tahu. We won't know until game day. Because obviously kalau I slot pun takkan nak beritahu United dia injured kan. So keep them guessing. I sense that he might be injured.
So there's two people right now. Konate
came back injured. Gravenberch came back injured. Already Alisson Becker was injured. Wataru Endo was injured. So our fitness at this point of time ada question mark lah. The good thing is on the other positions, yang lain semua so far dengar kabar they came unscathed lah during international break. So Conor Bradley had 2 good games. They were unlucky to lose lawan Germany. So Conor Bradley can start at right back. Andrew Robertson played very well. But even Milos Kerkez pun cun. Dominic Szoboszlai memang cun. Equalizer lawan Portugal lah itu. So hopefully kita punya, I think the sweat for Liverpool punya fans ni Konate dengan Gravenberch injury lah. How serious it is.
As it is
Konate lagi menakutkan lah. Kalau Konate injured lama, takut lah.
As it is right now, I think Konate, from the word yang aku dah baca on Twitter, dia mengatakan yang Konate will be out lah. Just briefly, and then there's only one person that's gonna ganti, which is Joe Gomez. What do you think of that?
So Joe Gomez, I think kalau confirm Konate injured, kita kena wrap dia dalam bubble. Kita jaga dia, letak dia, make sure slot, letak dia tepi dalam bilik slot sampai hari Sabtu. Letak dia dalam bubble, make sure ada oksigen, make sure semua ada makanan cukup, jaga dia lah. Jangan bagi dia bergerak sangat. Saya takut dia sleep ke kan. Make sure dia fit. Itu je kita risau Joe Gomez ni.
Okay lah. So memang actually going back to this Liverpool game dengan United ni, actually we are in a very serious situation lah bro, dari segi injuries, because by right kalau Konate is injured and then Gravenberch is injured, patut kalau Gravenberch okay, boleh lah kita petikaikan dia main CB kan, tapi ini dengan dia injured lagi apa masalah bro.
So that's why kalau kita nak be fair talking about United pula, this is their chance lah. So United so far season ni kan, satu game main bagus, satu game tak main bagus. Hari tu dia main bagus lawan Sunderland, they got the win, well deserved. And you know, in this sort of derbies, Red Raw derby ni, form goes out of the window kan. Basically the team that once more shows the hunger, plays better on that day, itulah team ni. So kalau what better way for United to sort of announce their return lah kiranya by win rather than winning at Anfield. Tapi most likely we have enough strength in depth and the good thing about this international break, it allows Slot to reset, allows Slot to really think about what's the best formation. Kita dah cakap itu kan, I think we have to settle down a bit back to the tried and tested team of last year. And then kita slowly 1-2 masuk yang baru-baru ni. Pasal ramai sangat, the balance tak berapa cantik sekarang ni.
Okay lah, so I think let's move on from there lah. I think obviously with that game memang it's gonna be a feisty game lah, that's for sure. Tapi dengan injury Liverpool, mana tahu United ada chance menang ke Anfield.
Tapi kita salah triple captain Adib. Kita kasi letup.
Kau confirm masalah triple captain. Tipu siul. Kau nanti aku tengok kau cakap apa. Nanti tengok Haaland captain.
Tapi betul lah. Sekarang ni persoalan dia, is it going to be Haaland? For me lah, Haaland, any Chelsea players, any Arsenal players atau Salah. Tapi antara Haaland atau Salah lah sekarang ni. Tapi lagi satu player nak cerita, Dip, yang tengah fire juga sekarang ni. Kalau striker lah, Matt Giant Newcastle. Nick
Wiltoma dah. Ya.
Dia tengah fire
on
ni.
On fire bro, on fire.
Dia tengah score.
Yes. Macam mana dengan rakan kita ni?
Back,
Yes bro. I mean he's been scoring also in Premier League, you know.
Correct. And he shows that dia bukan setakat lambung bola header je. Tak, dia boleh guna kaki, set piece dia pun cun kan, at least penalty dia pun solid.
Betul.
So and Newcastle quietly, diam-diam, they are getting informed, they are getting the results. Brighton tak tentu. So ada chance Newcastle ni. Ada chance Newcastle juga. Kalau siapa yang nak ambil striker baru, Nick Wiltoma ni ada.
Walaupun dia kalah dengan Arsenal hari tu, he came in with 2 goals lah with Forest dengan Arsenal respectively. So lepas ni lawan Brighton. So I mean Brighton away, you know, you never know, might be a good chance. Ada lagi tak player yang kau rasa this week? I mean kalau kau tanya aku bro, I mean I'm banking on I'm looking at Haaland and you know, Haaland is one of the for sure player yang aku rasa
dia tengah fire lah bro. Dia
fire
memang
sangat bro.
Fire sangat dia ni. Memang
let's talk about
apa
him,
dia sentuh gol lah.
Gila bro. And I mean they beat hat-trick bro. Aku rasa dia pun macam free Palestine jugalah, you know. Masa dia lawan Israel.
Masa semalam Italy pun menang, so Israel out lah.
Yeah, that one for sure bro.
First and foremost, tak tahu lah whether they should participate in this qualification is something that, yalah, kita pun tak cerita politik sini, kita cerita bola lah kan. Tapi tak masuk akal lah, you know what I mean.
Untuk aku, I mean aku agree dengan kau. Tak apa, kita boleh cerita pasal untuk aku that country shouldn't participate. Pasal kalau it's a bit for FIFA, it's a bit biased because you ban Russia.
Russia terus ya bro, immediately.
Russia terus because of their entrance in Ukraine. Lepas tu tiba-tiba yang ni pula kau tak, dia dah enter Palestine, kau tak ban dia pula. Macam mana? It's a bit like berat sebelah.
Memang berat sebelah. Tak adil lah, memang tak adil.
Tapi tak apa.
Bagusnya.
Tapi tak apa.
Bagusnya, the good thing is,
Tuhan itu
kau tengok ni the ni bro, the awareness. Hari tu kalau kau tengok the crowd masa dekat Norway, kau tengok the Norwegian crowd pun was supporting Israel, supporting Palestine against Israel. Sama macam Italy semalam. They were supporting Palestine. So at least it increases awareness tau bro. Itu yang bagusnya lah. Yang bagusnya yang at least dunia dah sedar sekarang lah kan.
Correct. I mean tak apa, dia FIFA tak payah keluar FIFA tak keluarkan dia, kita keluarkan diorang keluarkan sendiri lah.
Betul.
But let's go back with this guy bro, Erling. Bro, he's on fire bro. He's like on crazy. You know, I mean, let's go back from game week 4. I'm looking at the screen right now. United alone, he scored 13 points, which he scored 2 goals with United. And then Arsenal, he scored 1 goal. And then with Burnley, scoring 2 goal. And then with Brentford, he scored 1 goal. Pas to continue with the international break. With Moldova, dia score berapa juta gol. And then
5 campur 3, 8 gol bro.
Dengan Israel dia score 3 gol. Wah, monster. Gila siap. No, that's like to me macam he's the one that I am very sure everyone's banking lah bro.
Tapi itulah masalah macam ni tau. I think most likely 90% of people will choose him lah kan. Make sense. Tapi kalau kau nak differential, kalau kau tengah kejar orang, kau nak naik, this is the only way. Kau kena pilih orang lain, harap-harap orang tak score, orang lain tu score hat-trick. Macam ni aku cakap lah, triple captain salah.
Kau jangan tipu lah Ricky. Kau tengok, they are gonna fight, they are beating Everton for sure at home bro.
For sure lah bro, itulah, betul lah. Itu macam no-brainer lah.
And aduh, it's crazy lah.
And it's safe tau. Kalau FPL players, it's safe. Kalau tak alarm captain, semua pun tak alarm captain. So kalau kau tak score dia tak score pun, semua orang pun sama.
Betul. Semua so siapa-siapa yang rasanya nak pilih Haaland, silakan. You know, kalau kau ada Erling Haaland, silakan lah. Aku tak rasa Semenyo akan score lagi 2 biji versus Palace. And then aku tak rasa Salah Tolong I mean walaupun aku rasa salah nak skor 3 biji tapi aku tak rasa salah akan skor 3 biji dengan United. You know, walaupun aku nak letak dia triple captain, walaupun aku ada dia, tapi aduh sakit lah bye. Aku last week tak guna salah bro. Salah 4 point je siot. Kau gila ke? Nasib baik aku tukar dia tu.
Ni lagi satu tip. Yang ada chance. Spurs lawan home. Tapi Villa pun sekarang dah slowly tengah
lah.
last week dah menang kan. Dia picking up Tapi Spurs so far Kudus tu not bad bro. Kudus.
So the thing about tapi here's a question bro walaupun okay fine Kudus scored with Leeds bro. One goal, 1 assist last 2 weeks. But it's Leeds. And it's also, bro, it's Spurs. So
betul. Actually, it's not about Leeds. It's about Spurs, bro.
Yes.
Spurs ni pun, dia ada chance kalah dengan tim-tim macam ni.
Yeah, bro. Walaupun sekarang, okay, kita tengok line up dia. Game week 8 ni, they are gonna versus Aston Villa at home. Lepas tu lawan Everton away, Chelsea home, United at home. Okay, those are good games, but the possibility of them losing is very big, bro. And then, you know, macam you want to trust Spurs punya players for FPL, then banking on them to score points. Aduh, macam kau tunggu salah skor lah. Macam tu lah sebenarnya. No, itulah. So I don't know, but I mean it's a good choice for Muhammad Kudus. I mean Kudus to score versus Villa. Tapi it's gonna be a tight game, bro, with Villa.
Agreed. So it's an option. And then now kalau so kita dah cerita pasal striker kan. Kita dah cerita pasal Haaland, kita dah cerita pasal Salah, and then midfield kita dah cerita pasal Kudus, the Chelsea midfield of Caicedo and Enzo, Semenyo. Defense kita tak cerita lagi. Defense kalau nak ambil murah-murah, game yang kau nak bank ni tau, Sunderland Sunderland or Wolves ni. Ada Sunderland ni, Wolves lah. Goalkeeper dia Roofs. Dia pun ni murah-murah and ada chance dapat at least dapat defensive contribution, campur tiba-tiba dapat clean sheet kan lawan Wolves. Wolves ni rasanya macam nampak gaya.
Kau suka betul Sunderlandnya players just because they are cheap.
Just because one, they are cheap and I like how they play, bro. I like the fact that I honestly believe this Sunderland team will stay in this league.
Stay
But kita dah 2 tahun tau tak dapat.
Correct. But they have
team naik turun boring.
They have been producing results lah, bro. As what we was a surprising ni for Sunderland, tapi I mean they have produced results. That we have to give it to them.
To be fair, I think they are number 1. It's a good manager. It's a young good. This French guy is very good. Plus, I think his recruitment masa sama pun cun. Dia bukan buang semua player-player yang masa championship they were okay. They know the grade of the championship of the English game. Tapi dia ambil balik, for example, the former Arsenal captain tu, Granit Xhaka tu. That was a key move, bro. Letak kat midfield. Granit Xhaka tu control midfield dia orang. And then their defense pun, again, they've signed good players. Ada Reynildo tu. I think he should be able to play after the suspension kan. And then goalkeeper dia, Rose. These are cheap. And they're playing well. And for me, this is exactly yang akan ambil tempat lah. Wolves akan most likely at this point of time looks as if they are going down. Sunderland will remain.
Serius?
Harap-harap nak tengok satu lah. Nak tengok satu tim yang naik. Tak naklah semua tim naik turun boring lah.
Betul.
I mean 17 tim yang maintain kan. Bosan lah.
Nanti jadi macam ni lah, macam Liga Malaysia lah. Semua macam tak nak compete dah. Macam you know, siapa yang masuk yang dari championship tu masuk ni, confirm lah kita relegate lah this week. Kalau kita tak buat apa-apa, confirm relegate lah. Betul juga. Kena bagi dia semangat juga lah. But I mean, I agree with you with Sunderland. Sunderland is already producing results and dia I mean Janit tu he has experience, bro. He has Premier League experience as well kan.
And dia dah menang Bundesliga pun dah menang.
Betul. What about the other teams like Burnley and ni? Even Burnley and Leeds, bro. Even Burnley is also producing. Both of these teams are producing results, bro.
All three, betul. So this is the chance lah. For me, between Burnley and Leeds, Burnley is built on defensive solidarity kan. Solid dekat defense, especially dekat Turf Moor ni. Dia memang gila keras. Tapi Leeds, at least they're trying to play. Leeds they are trying to play, and even their investments. Again, this is the manager Daniel Farke tu pernah naik dengan Norwich dulu. Betul kan pronounce? Betul. Lepas tu diorang punya players yang diorang ada not bad. Ethan Empadu, Noah Okafor tu kat atas tu, decent players.
Yeah. Okafor tu is not bad. It is a very good buy from Milan, bro.
Betul.
He scored against us masa pre-season kot. Dah lah gol tu cantik lah tu.
So this is going to be again, let's see. As you said, this is a chance of siapa yang menang ni sedap lah kan. It's at least 3 points in the bag kan. Correct. For you to bekal for a long season. So let's see whether it's going to be defense yang menang, Burnley punya defense, ataupun some of Leeds punya attack. So there's this guy Stack. Dia tu not bad midfield. Biasa dia ambil
Leeds
Leeds.
But who do you think is going to win with Burnley lawan Leeds ni? I think it's going to be an even fight, and I think Burnley is very strong at home, bro. So I mean, I'm not surprised if Burnley it's either a draw or a win lah, you know.
Because Burnley they can play on the counter attack kan, and counter attack they have that Anthony, right? Jadon Anthony kat atas kan. So Anthony has got a lot of points on the counter.
Yeah, he's been producing points as well. Anthony ni walaupun I mean he doesn't have a not to say they are cikai team, but he has been producing points Anthony ni.
Correct. He's been clinical lah. Yeah. I mean they don't get enough chances. Diorang go on the counter, tapi bila diorang break, Anthony is there to finish it up. Yeah. Which is nice. So siapa kita tadi dah nak cerita pasal cheap defense ni, Burnley is an option, Sunderland is another option. These two are good options. Obviously some people will look at macam the core macam from Arsenal punya defense kan, Jurriën Timber, itu standard lah, tapi mahal. And then even Mark Gay is decent price of Crystal Palace. Tapi yang lain-lain ni banyak mahal.
Yelah. Tapi cuba aku nak kau dah petik dah tu. Apa kata kita pergi to this game, bro? Fulham versus Arsenal. It's going to be another London derby. I'm very sure people like me that has Calafiori and Timber on his team, it's still gonna bank on these guys to score points. What do you think? Walaupun away.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, honestly, but
Fulham away, Fulham at home, they are quite.
Fulham at home,
very strong.
Fulham at home is a different animal, kuat. Yeah. Tetapi, as I mentioned, this Arsenal team is different Arsenal team. Different game. They are the favourites for the title. Let's be honest. Semua
sekarang lah kau cakap dia favourite pula tiba-tiba. Sebelum ni
kita pun tahu dia favourite. Kita kuat, Liverpool kuat, tapi dia orang favourite kan. Kita transition.
Yeah.
I mean, kita punya transition jangan pasal kita dah cakap a few weeks ago pun, because some tu terpaksa players leave, right? Yeah. We see Trent Alexander-Arnold pergi kat Real Madrid obviously, and then Luis Diaz punyanya power, Luis Diaz kat Bayern Munich, plus
solid
the death of Diogo Jota. So some changes kita terpaksa buat.
Itulah, tapi dia cakap
diorang tak payah buat apa-apa transition. Diorang tambah. Diorang siap ada 11 players, diorang tambah lagi.
Itulah masalah.
So they are the favourites, no doubt. So kalau diorang nak menang, these are the games they have to win.
Fulham lah. But it's going to be tough. But it's going to be a tough. But I don't see them losing to Fulham, man.
I don't see it. I see a 1-0 Arsenal win. It's going to be a 1-0 Arsenal win.
Itulah. And it's good lah for guys that have Arsenal defenders macam aku yang ada Timber dengan Calafiori ni.
Ada dua-dua Woi, mahal.
Of course. Because I mean, come on, man. You have to bank on the game, you know, the game that plays the game. Okay. So we okay lah. I think we both are predicting a win for Arsenal lah.
Yeah, looks like it lah.
Let's just go briefly to this game lah, slightly, bro. Palace versus Bournemouth ni. Kau rasa, bro? This is one game that is gonna be like. I bukan nak predict. Palace is very strong, but Palace is coming in with a loss to Everton. I mean,
away lah. Everton played well that game, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, Palace played away also. They are playing solid. So, I mean, come on, they are quite a good team. They are unbeaten, what? Tapi kenanya Everton last minute yang goal macam tu kelakar juga, you know.
Everton ada semangat, bro. Stadium baru ni bagi diorang nafas baru.
Itulah. But it's they are playing not a Chikai team also, which is Bournemouth, bro. Bournemouth is also flying high with their player Antoine Semenyo, giving them victories over victories, bro.
Betul. And again, last year kita nampak Forest kan yang was a surprise package. Until the last game, diorang unfortunately tak dapat qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean
this year
unlucky unlucky for Forest lah. But to be honest with you, Forest ni, I mean, I just blame the owner lah, bro. Owner tu, you cannot change managers just like that, like, and then kau change, terkena, kau percaya lagi dengan Anji ni, terkena Anji lah, Yeah, but silakan apa?
For me, Bournemouth lah, bro. Bournemouth is this year's surprise package lah.
Yeah.
Kita tahu Areola ni memang gempak. As a manager, for me, the managers that's outside the top 6 yang I think are very good, these are the two managers sebenarnya. Glasner versus Areola. These two memang top notch. I think their next destination definitely a big clubnya.
Yeah, so I mean, two big two good hot prospect managers.
Hot prospect.
Playing against each other. What's your prediction, bro, for this game?
Oh, that's the thing. So, I would expect an interesting game, filled with goals, with Palace edging it lah.
Oh, serious?
Palace should edge it lah.
Palace because it's at home lah, bro.
It's at home, betul.
Itulah dia. Apa, okay.
Okay.
Apa ni, ada rakan FPL ada masuk.
Ada rakan FPL masuk?
Ada surah masuk rakan FPL. Salam maghrib, bro. Sorry. Kita orang tadi terlambat sikit sebenarnya.
Kita pun kena solat maghrib ni, bro. Kita kena potong ni.
Itulah. Sebenarnya kita start pukul berapa ni? Pukul 6. Tapi ada masalah teknikal.
Tenaga nasional pun hari ni potong banyak. Baik kita.
Dia pun dah cakap, bro, songkok mana, bro? Songkok hilang. Itulah aku tadi dah lupa songkok. Aku baru sedar masa aku on live. Alamak, aku punya trademark tak ada. Tak apa, hari ni je lah kau dapat aku punya rambut. Aduh.
Okay, bro. Let's enjoy the weekend. Let's see. Kita tengok siapa captain, triple captain Salah.
Sekejap. Sebelum kita gerak, kita solat maghrib. Siapa kau punya? Siapa you gonna choose your captain, bro? Tolong lah bagi tahu aku.
Aita kata 90% I would say orang akan pilih Haaland lah. Most likely I think I'm also thinking sekarang ni.
Jangan tipu lah dikit. So okay. Kau cakap je sebenarnya kau nak pilih Salah triple captain, tapi memang tak. I'm very sure you're gonna bloody choose Haaland, bro. Serious tu. It doesn't make sense though kalau kau tak choose Haaland this week. He's scoring good. He's like on fire. Gila, macam berapi tu, macam super sayar lah aku tengok.
Okay, bro.
Okay. Itu saja, guys. Thanks for joining siapa-siapa rakan FPL. Thank you rakan FPL. Sorry lah, aku tak pakai songkok hari ni. Kita tadi malfunction lah, bro. Aku punya OBS tak tahu lah.
Technical.
Tapi ni rakan FPL cakap Liverpool 4, Man U 3. Lain macam. Bournemouth
4-3 betul. Triple captain Mo Salah, bro. Triple captain Mo Salah.
Kau jangan percaya dia tu. Dia tipu siut. Dia pun cakap Salah triple captain. Jangan. Kau jangan percaya tu. Dia akan taruh Haaland ni kat. Okay, guys. Itu saja dari kami. InsyaAllah lah kita tengok kita akan buat live lagi minggu depan dalam rancangan yang sama. Itu saja. Salam maghrib. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hey.